Who bought you? Who bought you? Oh my goodness! Wow.
Oh,
Good evening. Welcome to What's Up Wednesday. This is Shorty and Scotty coming in from you live. Welcome, Facebook friends, campers, unicorns, and amazing people everywhere. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another edition of Shorty and Scotty from the Business of Smiles on What's Up Wednesday. Scotty, we're just talking. So before we jumped on, I was just giving him the heads up politely, saying, whenever you're this close, I could hear everything in between, right? And then so obviously he comes on like that, doesn't he? There's only one Scott Carson. Thank goodness for that.
Just be careful because everyone can hear you going. Oh, geez, Shorty, I'm just as well. I'm sensitive, isn't it?
Love it. Love it. Love it.
Oh, what's up, Wednesday? How are you, mate?
Very well. How you doing?
Yeah, not bad, actually. Actually, pretty excited, actually. Just a little bit quietly, so pumped up about many, many things. But I'm just going to go off track straight away, just because that's what I do.
Standard.
Why wouldn't I, right? And so anyway, so we've been doing the Smiles for Life dinners in Frankston, and they are going so well. It's not funny. And we had a beautiful young guy, 15, join us for dinner, and I was umming and ahhing about having, young guys under 18. Just they're not 18, but like there's no alcohol or anything like that, so there's no issues with that. It's about whether or not they'll embrace the conversations. And oh my God, what an amazing experience! This young guy, just absolutely beautiful, Shorty. And he brought a lot of energy to the room, a lot of things that, a lot of the older guys didn't see. And geez, I tell you what, with some of the young guys coming through, we've got such a beautiful future for humanity because they're learning and understanding things. But there's one guy that, I talk about often. And tonight I took him to a network meeting, so Frankston Business Collective. And I tell you what, we need to do that more often. We need to take our young men with us to go and be a part of these things, because how else are they going to learn how to be men? How else are they going to learn how to communicate? How else are they going to learn how to interact in conversations and grow from that? My just turned 12-year-old son was involved, and I'm looking at him, and we're almost eye level now, and I'm just like, "Hey, Caroline, how are you?" I'm so glad to see your face. So, but I was looking at him and the way he's communicating and the way he's embracing these conversations. And someone pulled me aside and said, "Listen, I just want to honor you for doing that." And I said, "Well, what do you mean?" I mean, thank you, Stacey. What do you mean, right? Because it's just something I do. She goes, "Yeah, but most people don't do that." I said, "How else is he going to learn?" She's like, "Oh." And I just turned around to him, "Mate, so I just want to let you know that I'm really proud of you. I'm really proud of you for the way you're interacting with people." And she's just humbled. She just goes, "Even that, just telling your son you're proud of him in front of other people." I'm like, isn't that what everybody does? And it's, I love the world in which we've created for ourselves, Shorty, and what we create for others, which is, I think, is why. Hey, Lisa, how are you, mate? So, and look, just I'm going to grab that for a second, right? I'm literally going to grab this. Tonight we're going to talk about coaching. 1, 2, 3 coaches: Caroline, Stacey, Lisa. 3 beautiful, beautiful human beings that just love what coaching's about. Love it, and the thing we just do. They are, and they're effortless for us. But that's because we put in the work, right? As we put in the work, we spend time around the people, learning the things we need to learn. We embrace opportunities to grow, and we challenge ourselves. We step up to things, and I think that's a really super important thing. But so I'm super pumped, Shorty. I've got a big thing coming through this week. Big thing personally. But I want to talk to you, and we don't often talk about what we actually do. We turn up here every week for the last few years, and we just love it, right? We love doing this. We love engaging. But in reality, we're both coaches, right? We're both coaches in different fields, and we support people, and we really make a difference in the work we do. So I just want to grab that for a minute. And I want to talk about that. Okay. So I've got some questions which I'll pose and that I want to bring up. Right. I'm going to start with you. What makes that t-shirt screams big news, Scott? Yeah, actually, don't worry. I'm worrying. So, hey, Beryl, how are you? So, but what makes someone want to enter the field of coaching, right? What is it for you that made you want to become a coach?
That's a really good question. So it stems back from my sporting days of playing rugby and water polo, and looking to do the professional part with the rugby, and then injuries got in the way, and it's like, well, how can I still be fit, and how can I still give back, and how can I still be part of that environment? And that's when I went into the fitness industry, and that just got the juices flowing around. Wow, this is so cool. You can obviously stay fit and be fit, but also provide that knowledge and that guidance and that information and education to people. And that's where, at the age of, I think it was 17, I started my first personal training business. And that led into, we opened up a couple of gymnasiums in Sydney, and that sparked that thirst of coaching, where we then went from coaching clients to coaching teams. And then selling that business in 2006, that still that yearn to learn and that thirst of knowledge and wanting to help and provide, but then take it from rather than just in the fitness arena, more of the life and business arena, obviously being coached myself through the fitness days. That's why we had some huge success in those fitness days, which then led me to, well, how can I make a bigger impact, and how can I help more people? Which then I went into the business and life coaching, of combining those two elements. And that's where since 2009 have been playing in that field, which has just been phenomenal. So I think, to answer the question directly, it's the willingness to, how I see it, I see potential in people where they can sometimes not see that potential. And I have that spark going, there's something inside of you maybe that holding you back. Then if you realize you got it, oh my goodness. And so my role as a coach is to unpack that and to repack it and to put a little bow on it, and to, through so many different ways, we'll get into it, but that's where I see it, is to see that potential and let them guide them through that way where they can actually see that potential and act upon it.
I love it. I'm just lucky I didn't crack up when you said water polo, because all I could picture was you in a little cute little swim tie hat, swimming around the pool, throwing the ball to one another.
Yeah, you don't know what happens underwater. You don't know what happens underwater.
Actually, I've seen him water polo. It's bloody vicious, and under the water, it's go for it. But sorry, you painted the picture, and it was very cute, Shorty.
Pleasure.
So,
what about you? What about you?
Yeah, it's interesting, because reality is it wasn't on my radar for many, many, many years, right? So I played baseball at a pretty reasonable level, and played for Victoria, and life happened and things went sideways for me. And I went back to baseball at the age of 18 and started playing. And one of the most important things, I believe, is in order to learn something better, you got to teach it. Right. So I coached baseball from a young age, and that was amazing. And same deal, seeing people achieve more. It's just such a powerful, powerful thing. Like, it's quite funny. I was speaking to a young guy a month ago, and he hooked up he used to play baseball when I was one of the kids I coached, right? And he's he's organised stuff, and I had to speak to his mum, and he goes to his mum. He goes, "Yeah, Scott Carson, you know, the one with the funny kick when he pitches." And she goes, "Oh, the one that all the kids started doing copying." And it's just, I sort of got to show you, don't I? Like I can't
here we
just do
go.
that. Right, here we go. This could go anywhere, right? So what we did, so I came in to pitch, right, and my knee. Oh, actually, that's a bit dangerous. I can't not show you. Right, so I came in, right, pitch, and my knee goes up, and then I kick my toe like that. And
It's got the socks on too.
Well, I got the socks on. I live in the socks, right? But and that, but just it was just a beautiful moment, right? Because you don't so often in life, you know, you do things, and sometimes you don't know what the difference you make. But just to hear that, 30 years on, it's pretty amazing. So, but then I moved into business and steel fixing or plumbing, actually, pool plumbing, and then steel fixing. And I've always employed people. And one of the greatest thrills I've always had is seeing someone do their first job on their own. Seeing somebody finish it, come up, and you sit with them and you talk about it, right? You're like, how'd you do that? And it's just extraordinary. So over the recent years, just because of a lot of the different experiences I've had in my life, it's gifted me a lot of opportunities to grow. And I didn't realize how powerful that was until I sat with others and they've seen that growth. And then always wanted to see somebody better. Like you see me out in the streets. I love seeing people and seeing what they can't see and then gifting that to them. And even if it's just a moment, just one thing to change, one little tiny micro, and it does make a difference. That, to be able to support people and help them grow is just such a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing. And I'm just very lucky that life has given me so many experiences to work through so that, I may not be the smartest man in the room, but I'm definitely wise. And wisdom comes from experience. And I think that's something that I love bringing into the coaching. It's that wisdom of understanding and listening. So, yeah, probably gone on a little bit too much there, but that's all right. I can do that. Showed you my kick. Didn't quite get it right. What I might do is I might actually film myself pitching. I'll get Oscar to film me and put it up in the comments just for my own entertainment because I think that'd be hilarious. So, hey, listen, I'm going to grab this. Lukey Mez, mate. I'm just going to throw this up there because I honor this guy. I'll never forget sitting there talking with you about situations and just you filling my heart with your honesty and commitment, mate. You made me so proud. I hope you're doing well, and I really appreciate you popping up a comment. I really do. Thanks, Luke. So, yeah. So, all right. So that's awesome. The Caroline put up a comment that I just having a bit of a look at. I love that. I love that shoot. It was the very same with my design shoots. So amazing to witness transformation. It's all about building confidence. 100%. And oh God, there I did it again with the screen. I keep doing that. I'm out of the comments now because I've got a new computer. I don't exactly know how to use it. I put too many fingers on them, and it. There we go. We're back. Okay. And I think that's the truth, right? The seeing people build confidence, like how good is it when they do it themselves? It's just such beauty in that. So anyway, I'm going to move along a bit because I've got a bit I want to get through tonight, Shorty. My next question to you is, and probably goes hand in hand with what we just talked about, but what do you absolutely love about coaching?
I'll share it in a story. So 2 weeks ago, caught up with a client. So I work with one of my amazing mates and that I've known for over 20 years. He's got 16 offices, and each month I go around and visit all the offices, and I check in with the staff to see what they need. So I help them. They've got specialists in the technical side, but I help to manage the emotional side. So everything that's around emotional, around what's happening at work or outside of home or at home, I come in and help. And so I caught up with one of the amazing team members there, and she goes, "Oh, I've just been feeling so good." I said, "Fantastic." And she's going, "This is happening, this is happening, this is happening." And I said, "Great." I said, and I just asked, I can't remember specifically what was the question, but I asked 2 or 3 questions, and she just went, "Ooh." I said, "What's that?" "Ooh." She goes, "Ooh." I said, "What just happened inside of you?" She goes, "I thought I'd worked on that." I said, "Tell me more." And next minute she was just like, woo! It was beautiful to see, because that emotional release through tears and through her getting it all out. And we processed it, we unpacked it, we worked through it. And she goes, "I didn't see that coming." I said, "That's the best thing, isn't it?" Right. And so that's where, by asking the questions for that right time, allowed her to release that emotion, to release that thought process, to release that pattern that she had been running, to get some more awareness around it and some tools then to move her through. That's the reason, that's the energy, that's the drive to see that, to have that as a gift to share with others. That's what I love doing. That's why I love doing it.
I love that. That weight changes, doesn't it?
Yep.
I'm sitting here thinking, hang on a sec, I've got to put this up. It's this stuff. I can't forget you. Like, you live in my heart because you're honest. These are the moments in my life that just make me so proud. To see, a good guy, good young guy, who really cares, become the best version of him.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. Thank you so much for being here tonight, Luke. Like you, I want to share a story for me that I'm really big on working through the foundations and just finding the things that we don't normally see in order to find gold. Not like you, Shorty, but there's one guy I worked with a few years ago, and it was a really tough time in his life, a pretty interesting life. And his brother was riddled with cancer, and they hadn't had a great relationship. And he was going to pass away soon. And he didn't know how to have that conversation. He didn't know how to even open up about it. And we sat and we processed it, and we talked about what's the outcome, what's his desired outcome, what does he want from this. And it took 6 weeks. And by the time we spent that time together, he got to have that conversation with his brother. He got to have that conversation before he passed away. He was there when he passed away with love in his heart.
Mm-hmm.
because we look for the things that he didn't see because he's so busy in his own life, and we took away the pain so that he could be there and present in the moment. And to this day, he still thanks me for that. He still thanks me for having his heart and not having the regret because he didn't have that conversation. He took it and had it. I imagine a world that we challenged ourselves so we didn't carry that weight. You know, that's what I love about it. I love it. I love the fact that we can shed that excess weight so we can take on the next challenge. You know,
Beautiful.
I love it. Yeah,
Beautiful.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm just getting in that for a minute because it's a big one, right? So, as you said, sorry. So I've got my iPad in front of me, right? And before we got on, I was having a laugh to Shorty because Oscar's been running my battery flat school holidays. So I changed my password and he locked me out. So I haven't been able to get in. That's been quite funny, but that's okay. That's what happened. Oh, I love this. You know what I mean? Like, look at it, Shorty. We're not two blokes just having a crack, right? We both love our stuff. We're not here all flash fancy dancy. We're just getting things done. So I just love it. So
I've got a question for you. So who inspired you or painted the picture for you to get into the coaching space?
Yeah, Mick Hawes.
Tell me more.
You know, like, so I in the coaching space, I've always been in it with sport and doing bits and pieces around the sport side of things. But it wasn't until I started working with Mick Hawes that I really found the bigger lessons, like some stuff that I already embraced in life because I'd taken on the challenges and I'd stepped up. But it was the refining of that and understanding the processing and the going deeper and being around other people that are into personal development and taking those opportunities. And then I've got people like Stacey, Lisa, Caroline, you. There's all these amazing people over the last, 4 years. I've been a part of the Campfire Project where it's just been elevated. I was already coaching on bits and pieces, and supporting suicidal men. Like for Lukey, I loved being a part of the Victorian Brotherhood for the time I was there, for what we did, and the impact that we had. I just loved being there. Like it was amazing. But Mick Hawes was the one that really opened my mind up to possibilities. And I think that was a big one. And you, Shorty?
Yeah, it's been for me, I remember a time I was 21 and I was walking in the streets in Sydney, in the city, and I got this flyer. And the flyer said, this was like over 20 years ago, how to turn $1 into $1 million in 3 years. It's like, ooh, that got my interest. Good headline. And so it was a information evening, so forth. And so I thought, why not? I'll have a crack, see what all this is all about. And it was an information evening with a gentleman called Roy McDonald. And he ran an info night, and then he was selling a 5-day program, and it's like, cool. And so great sales tactics, signed up on the night, so forth. And I did this, a program called Born Rich through Roy McDonald. And Bob Proctor was his program, obviously Bob Proctor from the States, and Roy had a license and licensed it and put his spin to it. And I was very fortunate enough to meet some amazing guys at the same time who we did our course together, the likes of Brent Williams, who runs Empower You, which is a program for teenagers, like an Anthony Robbins for teenagers. Dale Beaumont, his best mate, he was doing the course all together. A few other guys as well, which is just phenomenal, who was, we're all still friends today. And that 5-day program literally changed how I view things. And the processes that we did, where we went to, there was a lot of process that we did to shed a lot of crap in our lives, and that ventured me on that personal development journey. When we then bought our first gymnasium, we took on a coach, and he has continued to this day, made an impact in my life. And his name was David Carlin. He ran a Action International franchise, and he was, a very successful coach, and helped us in our business to be, we've got many awards of being voted the best fitness center in Australia, both from an industry and also from the business industry, from the fitness industry and the business industry. So we're very fortunate enough to have some really great success, and from his guidance and direction, which helped considerably. It also helps having a family like-minded as well with, Nat, my wife, she's obviously a midwife and an energetic healer. My sister is an energetic healer. My elder sister's a psychologist. My younger sister's in the arts and drama. So to have that environment immersed in change and in growth and development, it's just like, how else can I serve? How else can I give? So that's been a huge, for me, some really key people in my life that have helped me and guided me in the coaching space.
I love that, right? Because I just, and this wasn't one of the things I'm going to bring up, but how much do you bring the coaching into your parenting styles?
Oh, man. Heaps. I will say this though, and this is one of the lessons I do share with my clients, is that I do a little process now, because I've been caught out a number of times, particularly from my eldest daughter, Riley, and as the younger kids grow up as well, where I come home, and because I've had my coaching hat on, asking questions and going and I come home and I bring that energy, and the kids just go, far out, wow, Dad, too much, too intense, ease up. So what I do now is, in the car, if I'm out and about, or, running around all day, I sit in the car and go, all right, where am I? Cool, I'm about to work on home. Who do I need to be? I need to be the loving husband and the awesome dad. All right, when was I last that? This morning, last night? Okay, feel that, get into that, embody, get into that characteristic, get into that, hat. And then when I do that, and as you can hear already in my voice, my tone drops, my energy drops, and I'm obviously more grounded, not more grounded, but just more. And then I walk in, open the door, it's like, Dad's home, cool, hugs, cuddles, and so forth. So yes, the coaching has a big impact on parenting, obviously, through, questions and guidance and lessons. But on an energy aspect, for me personally, it's being aware of what energy am I bringing home at the same time. So, which is pretty important.
Well, one of the guys talked about that actually on Thursday night. The fact that his partner's a psychologist, and just he feels like he's under the radar all the time, and that's, I mean, even for me, I've got listening to you now, I've got to check me in a bit more, because I'm always on, I'm always switched on, I'm always doing me, I'm always doing the things I want to do. But it's interesting because as we go into the network meeting tonight with Oscar, I shared something with somebody about him, and he goes, Dad, I was actually annoyed that you didn't ask me to share that. I said, but it was only Jimmy. He goes, yeah, I know, but that's a private moment that, and so had you have asked me, I would have been okay with it, but you just didn't ask me. And I'm worried that I'm going to lose my trust with you if you do that too often. I'm like, wow. Fair play, right? Fair play. It's because it's that relationship and trust that you build, and so much of that has come from the coaching, right? And it's, but I got to remember sometimes to take off my head, my hat too, because it's I've been described as a good camper. I can be pretty intense.
Yeah.
So, but
Boom, boom.
all right. So, yeah, and I think I've just got some comments there. I'm just going to quickly. My team's used to speak. No, I don't want to be coach right now. Yeah, cool. And that's I'm guessing that's you, Lisa. Because like it's and by the way, tomorrow night Lisa and I are going to be up and about doing another live, catching up, which will broadcast everywhere and come and ask some questions because that's what we're here for, which is awesome. So I've got one more question. Yeah, this scares me. More of that to come, Scott, as he becomes more of a teen. No, he's becoming a teen. And yes, that's Lisa, which is awesome. And so, I want to dive into one more question. We're going to go a little bit over time tonight, and I don't want to go too far over because you've watched Lasso and I haven't. So, being that we both love what we do, right? And there's a new platform coming forward for me next week, which I just can't wait to share. It's going to be my best work, and I'm looking forward to that. But how much does being a coach help you with our community work when we're out connecting hearts? How much does everything you've learned and how much you actually put into people come into play when you're representing the business of smiles, when you put that hat on?
I'd like for you to answer that first, if that's okay.
Okay. I think it's a double edge for me. I think it helps me become a better coach because I sit present and I don't have to fix things all the time. I just got to ask quality questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, I couldn't get the depth out of the people that I get if I didn't have the coaching skills, presenting skills that I have. And I think that's something that has probably become some of the most valuable things in my life that I utilize everywhere. Like it's just knowing that someone's always got more and that people can always make progress, that there's one thing they can do today for tomorrow. I really think it helps, but I think they both support one another, in a big way. Like even today, I started at 4:00 this morning and got my training done. Went into the city, had my meeting done at 8:30. Finish up with a meeting, and I just had this beautiful conversation. And actually, I'm going to share this. On Saturday, someone who I've recently met started following the journey, and he just said, he goes, I really want to thank you for everything you do. And he goes, you may not be a religious man, but I just want you to know that God's working through you. And I just sent him back a message. I just can't thank you enough for that message. I can't thank you enough for reaching out to me and letting me know how much you've enjoyed that. And I just want you to know that I'm not a religious man, but I really appreciate the fact that you have a faith that beyond you and you have a belief system beyond you, and you can appreciate that's what I'm gifting others. I really appreciate that. And so today we had a coffee and I talked a little bit further about it because I start to see people hide away from faith. And for me, I hope they don't, but because it gives them an additional bit of strength, additional bit of support in themselves, and anything that gives you an opportunity to be a better version of you, I'm in for. If anything gives you a reason to be a bigger part of a community, I'm in for. And I just love it. I really honor it. But as I was leaving, we had this beautiful conversation. I was walking with a guy, goes, there's two young girls walking towards me. And one of them smiled at me. Just polite. I just stopped. And I just said, I just want to thank you so much for smiling. I said, that's such a beautiful gift to somebody you don't know. If I can, I'd like to gift you a pair of socks. I gifted them both a pair of socks. And it's just a beautiful transaction, as they always are. But it's the conversation I had after that. I was speaking to this really good guy, and I said, so just can we just break down what happened? He goes, it was awesome. Just complete strangers. I said, yeah. I said, but neither of us knew what was going on in their life. But let's think about it. For the rest of the day, they're going to be talking about some random dude that gave them a smile. They just shared a smile. How does that feel? Your face has changed, Shorty, right?
Yeah, totally.
The energy just changed. I said, that's the energy they're going to be projecting for the whole day because some random dude did that. We have so much coming at us consistently. So much marketing is based upon fear. So it's about what we don't have so that you can buy their product, so you can get their product. There's a lot of negativity. One small act of kindness can project positivity that has a ripple effect beyond what we'll ever see. But I'd love to think of that world. I'd love to think of the world of what would look like in sunshine, rainbows, and lollipops and unicorns. I mean, I live it. Do you know what I mean? I'm lucky. As often been said, I can turn anything into a positive. Yeah, pretty much, right? Because I'm looking for it. Because what my input is my output. My Facebook feed is only positive things. If it's a negative interaction, it's gone. So yeah. So how does it affect? How does it work with my community and supporting my community? Heaps, but my community makes me stronger too. So, Shorty.
Definitely, I think it's a beautiful crossover, and I think what the coaching has that provides an extra depth to what we do through the business of smiles is when we are walking the streets and having conversations. It's seeing nuances. It's seeing a glitch in someone's eye. It's seeing a deeper breath. It's seeing a gasp. It's seeing something in the person that you're speaking with to go, what was that? What just happened there? It's having more awareness around interaction, having more listening skills, not just with your ears, but also with the eyes and with the heart, and seeing what am I picking up intuitively? What's coming through from listening, hearing, taking on this information from this amazing person in front of me that I can connect even further on a deeper level. And that's why I truly believe we have some incredible conversations in such a short period of time with people, because they feel safe. They feel safe that they can open and share where maybe they haven't been able to feel safe in different environments or with different people. And I think that's truly some amazing gifts that we have on offer to when we are out on the streets and doing our walks within our communities, and why we're connecting with so many beautiful hearts because of me personally, my coaching background and space enabled to hold space for those out and within the community. So definitely it's has had a big impact.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, because part of the journey for you and I is you hold a lot of space for me too, right? You hold a lot, and you ask better quality questions so I can get better quality answers consistently. And it's something that, like, and this is something, and I'm sure people feel it anyway, right? We turn up here and we love it, and we're just having an honest conversation between two blokes that just really give a shit. And that's just the reality, right? That,
Yep.
that is the genuine reality. Like, and I love it. This is from Lisa. So same, right? Coach just loves it. Can improve the community connection. And I love it. Yeah, we're going over tonight, Shorty, and I don't apologize for it. I've loved this conversation, right? Because I think so much of it is poignant, and there is absolute magic inside every single person I've ever met. Every single person. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer to see and find it, but there is absolute magic. You know, I absolutely adore what we do, Shorty.
Same.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in for this evening for What's Up Wednesdays. What a beautiful, beautiful night we've had. Day, if you're watching the repeat or whatever the time it is in the world that you're watching this. Thank you all. Reach out if there's anything we can do to help serve or have a conversation. Please reach out. Now, here's the challenge, Mr. Carson. I've got access to the button this evening.
Oh, what's this? Short, like, seriously, I need to know something, right? If anybody's still watching, how bad is it with me and the button? Is it annoying? Because if it is, let me know, because I'll get Shorty to take over, right? Because it's one of those things for me that I just, like. So I'll look for it, right? So I'll demonstrate. I'll look for it, right? And I know it's up here, right? And I'll press it, right? But then what's got to happen is I have to press it again. So Shorty is a little bit better with this, and he won't have to talk about it, but I will, because that's what's in the thoughts at the pattern. I got to.
Thanks, guys.